All right. Friday. Spike agrees. This is Friday face. Oh, too low. Yeah, we'll keep it there. All right. Talking is hard. Anyway, I wanted to poke at this a little the last couple of days and I didn't, which isn't a surprise because I normally don't. So I'm not sure what to do for some of this stuff yet. Hello. So I'm probably gonna pass the work on some of that. We'll start doing some of the final bits for these. Some of these are going to be pretty easy. Like, I know this one is going to be pretty easy. I know, and I did want to give the stipulation like normal if, well, not normal, like I want to, if there is any questions or anything people want to see certain, specifically that I've done before for examples or to show something, let me know. The whole point is to answer questions, so just let me know. So I think for motion here, it really doesn't even... I just need to give her some kind of motion. All you can see is her head, right? Yeah. How do you pawn so good? Lots and lots of experience. Actually, where... activity. Getting close. Almost at 8,000 mark. At the current rate, which is about anywhere from 6 to 8 hours a week, it'll take me about 10 weeks. Yep. At least. So, in about 2 months I'll hit it. 10,000 hours. I'm close enough. Okay, so that doesn't work. Maybe a little side to side. Maybe in this direction. Do that, and then we'll just do another. Let's do a little like side motion. Okay. And then I gotta smooth the hell out of it. Prime sub on mobile? I have no clue. It was only just, I think, this week that I started playing around with some of the like underlying Twitch settings, really seeing what was there. Okay, that barely did anything. There we go. So we're on that. So that's a very consistent motion. Then I want to see if I can grab like a part of it and just shrink it really quick. Maybe not that small, like this. Maybe a little smaller. Oh no, I'm at a bad point in this. Because then I can have her head kind of, or her eyes twitch over there. Okay, so let's see, eyes, face. I want to have them go. No, not those eyes. Those eyes. Be to the right. No. Yeah, to the right. Okay. Actually, that was the wrong. And I have them go like this. Yeah, and then that's the reset. I want to go like this. Okay, her eyes are going to start a little higher. Where are the eyes in general? Right there. And then we're going to go just a little down. Okay, that's good. Now a little bit more down again. Okay. I'm going to slow it down because I think that is a little quick. And then when she goes back, I'm going to have that be a lot quicker. Actually, you know what? I'll keep it the same because I'm going to have her go to the left. And I want to have her head adjust to look like that too. Too quick. Let's see if I can just grab the rotation. I think it's just being weird because I'm trying to grab position with it too. Kind of, but just not so much. Maybe like a little dip of the head. I think it kind of works, but I just need to smooth it because it's too jerky right now. Do I want to have her blink, or do nerds blink? If I do, it has to be ultra quick. I shouldn't need a 0 anyway. I think I'm going to have it look like she's increasing her focus as time goes on. Like this. So like Okay, when the eyes change, I can just do it like this now. I need to make them move a lot more to the right. This is going to be hard to... I can just have a twitch back, actually. It's going to be hard to light. Do a little tilt of the head, just a teeny bit. It's too big. That? I think that might actually work. Okay. Yes, she's playing video games. Actually, I do need to figure out what to put on this monitor, because I am not sure. I should be able to put whatever I want. I probably should do... I wonder, on these back ones, it would be tough, but I would be technically able to, like, do a render of, like, him from here and put it on the screen. It's completely doable. I think this is the only angle I have to worry about. Perhaps this one. Yeah. Oh, and actually, I have to get rid of this. Oh, there's stuff in the way. I was like, why isn't... The future bits, I got rid of that. So I needed an open wall. Technically the wall itself moved, but that's not something I expect somebody to actually catch. There's a whole bunch of stuff in these shots I have to get rid of, but this one I know I have to get rid of. It's gone. Security bank, security bank. This is why I usually like trying to plan out my scene builds prior. Just didn't work out so hot on this one. Let's gonna show it all. No. I still love the way she says this though.
Got a brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket!
Yeah, poor Spike. And actually, the audio stops just at the point where she ends her eyes. Or at least it slows down. And I was going to swap those two, because if I try to do... the connecting might be a little weird. Let's see here. And I can remark this one orange because it's essentially done, kinda. So how does this work swapped? I'll have to move the... Oh, did it? Oh, it did bring the audio with it. Okay, it does work, except for I need to... This keyboard. I think it readjusted. Yeah, I moved this too. Why is this overlapping at all? If I cut it there, is that going to be noticeable?
System, but I need your help. Help.
Not really.
Rocket science! Woo! Headshot surgery! Oh.
Okay, I actually need to extend that a little bit because this needs to go until there. Maybe that was what it was. Does it still connect? Not even gonna notice.
Squishy! Yeah! Squishy!
Sounds like this fades in.
Squishy! Yeah! Squishy! Squishy! Yeah! Now grab the brain!
It's like this face. Dun dun dun. I agree. Well, which horse? I agree. I feel sorry for all horse. Can I rename these? I can? I never actually tried that. Haha. Well, that's nifty. Things I never did thought I'd try.
Science!
Just doing some music. Oh, that's... I agree. Yeah.
Squishy! Now grab the brain!
Normally it's when I cut or repeats the audio, it's annoying, but well, Twilight, there's something wrong with you. Phasing through reality.
Got a brain!
Woo!
I'll put the brain on this rock.
Sounds like you should be beating your head against the pole. Because that's a lot easier to read through. One more. Actually, what is that? This is other things I look at, but I never see. Renumbering. First increment number of digits. Is that? No, I thought maybe it was like the same thing of how it auto numbers if something's the same. It might be related to that, but you can do that with any audio. You just select a bit, and then
Put the brain on this rocks.
yeah, just grab it while it's still playing.
Rocks.
Twilight could totally pull off beats. Is there a thingy tomorrow? Hello, Thunder. Yeah, there's a board game meet tomorrow. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's the first Saturday, so it's board game meet tomorrow. Okay, that's just annoying. I should probably do that one too. I'm just gonna call this one what it is. Because some of these are really hard to determine without looking into it more. Like this, the actual name of the file isn't towards the very end, so having it where I can give it a more appropriate name is pretty nice. Or like here too.
You got a brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket.
Yes.
This rocket. Brain
On this. Put this. Who's the guy that made the highlights from your stream? That was Jared Fang. JARRODFENG. He's got, I think he's running Collaboratory now. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I'm off Discord. For some reason they have me in the Discord for Collaboratory, but I'm pretty sure he's running it now. So he's got that, and he's gotten supremely better every year since he made those. So he's busy with his own stuff. Oh, the audio. The audio for all this is actually Dr. Spara from Borderlands, the pre-sequel. It's fairly obscure, but she's like she has a lot of missions, but she's kind of in a back corner, and all of her missions are just they're standard missions, but the voice lines are what make them great. I still have some here I haven't used.
Hey, you want to be a rocket science? It isn't rocket science. I mean, it is, but whatever. Now, fire the rocket! Hypothesis, this will be frickin' sick!
So yeah, the voicing was great for it. So I've been using it for. I think this is my 4th like crazy Twilight science video. Yeah, I keep forgetting I have a different wallpaper background I've been trying to use. Or I've been using, but I keep forgetting to launch Wallpaper Engine. Yeah, I like this one. It's just simple and has a clock on there, and but when I'm not running Wallpaper Engine, it goes to the other one. Actually, that monitor still has it. I've had that background for a while. I have a whole folder full of them. I just don't swap wallpapers very often. No, yeah, no, the pony one is great. I saw it once and it's just been stuck since. Okay, this is gonna take. I want to skip the ones that are gonna be lip syncing because I don't want to be stuck doing lip syncing right now. So we're gonna do the ones that aren't lip syncing. So for now, this shot has a whole bunch of stuff that I don't need, like pipes. I believe all those are gone. Servers. Nope, I need those. Refrigerator, computer. Oh, no, the computer cart needs to stay. That's that thing. Battery cart stays. That's. Oh. I think the box needs to be there too. Yeah. Those can be gone. I don't even need a ceiling. Hell, I barely need a floor. Transformer, I need nothing from that. Which of these can I get rid of? I think wall 1 I can get rid of. It's really close to the edge. I'm going to keep it just in case. This one I can get rid of though. So this is the fulcrum for the camera, so I can see what exactly the camera can see. So that one needs to stay, that one needs to stay. That one probably doesn't. Let's try the top one there. Okay. There we go. And everything I get rid of increases the processing so that I have better quality playbacks. Which floors do I not need? I'm just going to shut off all these. I don't need these two. And technically, I don't even need this one. I mean, Spike's just floating anyway, but stuff that's a little bit close to being in the camera or not, I'd rather just keep it in. I could just say screw this, and you could move all the floors to better cover the camera and nobody's going to notice that the floors are moved. Like, take these. And I think, yeah, you never even notice. And now these floors are definitely out of camera range, so I can just get rid of them. Nobody will ever notice that stuff. The hammers, I can get rid of one of these mallets. This one I have to keep, and get rid of the round platform. I only need Spike. I don't... This one I'm not sure of. Actually, I'm probably going to keep it just because I'm going to need it on the corner. This is a light called computer screen spike, and he's not even being hit by it. Oh yeah, because I moved him backwards. I would tell it to do shuffling back wallpapers, and I used to, but I've kind of gotten to the point now where now it's just with that, but I like consistency on some things. So, like, I like just having the same wallpaper. Music, I listened to the same song on repeat today for 5 hours, mainly because it's SFM has kind of gotten me into this thing where I'm just used to hearing the same songs over and over again from working on stuff. So I think it's just I get better focus from that. This is let's go backlight. That works pretty good. These may not be her eye lights anymore, but I can still use them. Though I only need technically one eye, because he ain't moving. So I'm gonna get rid of this one. Where is Purple Boy? Oh, there he is. This is very zoomed in. So I'm actually going to need a couple different ones here. So this one I'm going to call just main. This was one that's going to kind of cover the entire eye. For some reason I didn't seem to move my models in SFM anymore. They have an animation set to them, but when I try to add a movement set for them, nothing. It's turning it all with the rotation. Oh, that's an easy one. One sec here. It's probably just that the model's lifetime died. I'm gonna have that issue a lot in some of this stuff too. Just double click your shot that's going on with, and you open up this and see if one of the models that you're working with, if their model's life is not within this area. Oops. So I mean, you don't need to have it be like perfect, but if you're having issues where, oh, that's why it's disappearing. You're gonna have ones like, so you could do this, but if you have a model or something that is, let's get this one in there too. Say like, let's actually get Spike shrunk down. It has to cover the whole clip. So let's say that, because this is telling the engine like how long that model is alive for. I'm not sure if this means that it is existing in this shot into other shots or not. That actually could have an effect on how particles work. I never even thought of that. Anyways, I don't really know what the effect is in general, but let's say that Spike has only this amount of time. Now, if he is animated, let me have this full here. In this time, and he is dead in that time, he dies. He's like, nothing is happening anymore. That includes if I try to grab here, nothing is happening. But if I cross into that area, that was okay. Now it's working because I'm crossing into that living area. But he's still gonna die at this point. So the important thing is have it full. But I haven't played around with if these go outside of this area in a shot. Is the engine doing anything with it in previous shots? Is it preloading it? I'm thinking that there is a chance that a like, can I split these? No. It can. Sometimes I've had issues where particles that I try to have pre-run, only pre-run so far back, and I'm wondering if it's because it's only allowing me to pre-run it for the life that it exists. It's something to look into potentially. So yeah, I'm not sure if there's even benefit in this. The only reason I don't ever try anything or like clean this up like this is because you can't multi-select. So I can't go like this and readjust. If I could, I'd be much more willing to do it. It might be able to do like, let's see, edit clip. That's setting the offset. Because when you hover over this, it'll give you some info. So it says, I can't point at the screen, but it says start, end, duration, offset. So it's offsetting that clip. But I don't, it's like there's the options there, but I really haven't found a reason for them. Like, why would you offset when you can just move things around? I'm not sure, unless you're trying to math things specifically. I'm not. Yeah, I'd have to play around with it more. But yeah, I should actually sit down and like test this. Add like 1,000 models to something over a certain period, and then don't. The other way to fix this too, if you want to go the cheat route. So let's say Spike eye light right. Oh no, that's the locked one. Computer screen S. So this one right here. If I'm going to copy it, then I'm going to delete it. It's gone, and then I'm going to paste it. Oh, it actually didn't. Or maybe it was the other way around, or the other issue. Let's see here. I'm going to bring its life down so it's not in the full shot. Now I'm going to copy, delete, paste. Okay. So it will adjust itself to fill the whole bed. Now I'm also curious. So let's do let's just do Spike. He is now taking up a partial. I'm going to copy, delete, paste. So they automatically adjust to him having a pre-run time. So there might be a benefit to it that I don't know of. But Yeah, I'm not sure. Anyway. But yeah, if you ever have a problem where suddenly you can't animate something, it's normally because you had started with a single clip that you're working with, and then, like, say the full 60 seconds, which is what I did here. I built it on 60 seconds, and then you kept cutting it up. Because you're cutting it up, but the life of something, I'm starting to run into the issue here. So if I go into this shot, you can start seeing now I'm starting to run into, like, this model is not in its life range. All of these are not. But a lot of these I'm not worried about, because like this one I will be, and this one I will be. But Walltech 3 and 5, if they're not animating and they're just literally sitting there, it doesn't matter if they're in the shot or not, because they're frozen in place. But these are the ones you can tell I loaded all of these manually. So now I'm OCD and gotta like match all these up. There. Okay, now they're nice and clean. So the state you probably would want all your ones in is, I'm guessing, like that. All together. Anyway, the circuit box over there. Nope, it's a little off. Those are a little off too. There we go. Now they're perfectly straight. Anyway, it's the one downside to cutting up video or cutting up shots. But if you do want to reset it, and you just don't want to go and try to find it in there or fix it or whatever, just copy paste the model and paste a new one. I wonder if it shows it in here too. I would think they'd have something in here about it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Some of these settings are very, very powerful to play around with. Going through here. It said that you got a brain tree. Oh, because it's in the shot. Being able to, like, say for instance, I did a video on it, but if you have... if you put a map in here, and then you take that map out of this area. So this map right here is saying, this is your save files master map. So everything uses that one map. But if you remove this, it says, okay, I don't know what map to go to. Let's check the shot level. And so it will instead load... there it is. It'll still instead look for this field. If it doesn't find that field, then it'll say no map loaded. But it lets you have more than one map working in a file, though only one map can be loaded at a time in SFM. When rendering, it will unload and reload the map, but during preview it won't. So you have to actually go into the console and do change level and then actually type in the map name. Which is a little annoying, but it is nice. Then you can have a single render to do multiple maps. And I haven't really had an issue with it. It's worked really well. Some of these, like, I don't know what the use or AVI file is. There's a lot of really deep stuff when you start digging in here. Hell, you can copy a shot from another save file and bring it into another file. If somebody wants, I can show you how to do that. That's really nice where, let's say you made a particle and you instanced it. So it is now locked to that one save file. If you want to get it in another one, you can by importing that shot and then copy pasting that particle out of that shot into the main sequence or into a shot that isn't that video. So it actually works pretty well. Zachariah Scott did something on it, and that's how I learned it. I think he did it. Anyway. So yeah, there's a lot of powerful things if you want to dig around. It's gonna make him look bored. I don't need any of these either. Yeah, so now my preview is running at like 100 frames a second. Not like it really matters, but it actually does matter when I'm not on stream. I'm running a 144 hertz monitor, so it actually does make a difference. No, actually the lighting on him doesn't look right yet. That monitor is very bright. He's not that bright compared to. Oh, that's your eye, isn't it? Yeah. I have to be a little careful here because this is actually going over the top of his head. I don't want that. The monitor is technically right here. Okay. View screen. This is the volumetric. Yeah. Probably don't need shadows on this, but I do need just a little bit of a haze coming out of the corner here. I'm hitting his other eye, but that's fine. Okay, but I mainly want this for volumetrics, so I'm going to drop the light way down, the volumetrics way up. No, that wasn't overlay. What the hell? Oh, I guess it is a little bit too far in. There we go. Oh, that's fine. So I go max a little bit further. Far edge in. I probably should be at a lower angle. Oh, it's not a computer screen, it's a TV. It might be all the show. So, yeah, because I got a 4K before. So this is the screen I'm using for chat. So yeah, I got a 4K TV for gaming and for just shits and giggles, I guess, because I got a good deal on it. So, and I wanted the absolute smallest possible 4K TV, which is 40-inch, and they had a Samsung 4K that was a 43-inch, which absolutely perfectly fits in the space that I have it for a good deal, because Samsung does, was it 444 chroma key or whatever they call it, so it makes it so it works very, very well as a computer monitor. But yeah, I like it. It works pretty good. I've been doing what do you call that? Actually, I don't even need this one at all. Been playing Shadow of War on it in 4K, and I'm able to play it on 4K with the ultra high texture mod and all this others, everything at ultra, and I'm able to run it at a consistent 50 to 60 frames a second, which is pretty good because the TV's only does that much. So, so I like it. This should be a little higher. So if I were to not put radius on this and just done it like this, to me this actually isn't accurate for a computer monitor, mainly because a sharp shadow comes from the smaller the point of the light, the sharper the shadows. And so if you had a pinpoint light, you would have immensely sharp shadows. But and that's because if let's do an example. Oh, I got little notepads here. So it's saying that if an object is in the way, like this, so it's in front of my face. If the light's behind it, if it's a teeny tiny light, which is like, I don't have anything teeny tiny. Well, let's just do my finger. So if it's if my finger is the amount of light coming through, and that's the full amount of light, it doesn't. As it's crossing that barrier from it, it's going to slowly start giving a little bit of light, but as that you cross that threshold, it's going to give more and more and more light until it is fully in view. That's so like if for solar eclipses, when the moon starts to go in front of the sun, shadows start getting sharper because the amount of light is coming from a smaller and smaller source. But normally for the sun, you're going to get fuzzy edges because the especially the further away it is, because of how much distance it is for the light to be covered. But if you have a big source like this, you're going to keep getting more and more and more and more and more to where a very large source of light, which would be like, say, a monitor, it wouldn't really be causing shadows. It would be a fuzzy light over everything, because anything blocking its path is probably not going to block anywhere near it. So it's going to be very, very fuzzy shadows. Having a light like this doesn't really make much sense because it's showing this like nice sharp edge. But why would it? It's a monitor. It should be a fuzzy blue. So radius gives that artificial feel look of a light being wider than it is. The problem is it doesn't preview well, and because it's spreading out the same brightness over a larger area, it makes things dimmer. So if I put this all the way up, the light's going to look like it's almost not even there, even though it's technically this bright. So for this, I'd probably go for like that. See, now that shadow is a lot smoother, like it should be for a monitor. Problem is he's still got his very, very dark bits down here, and I think that's too dark. I don't actually want it to be that dark. Is this his backlight? Yeah. Let's use this one. So this one I'm going to do under like So yeah, if you're trying to make a light for a scene, so for this one I'm going to put shadows on just because it won't light the eyes. At least I'll see if it works. So if you're trying to make a light for a scene, you want to think about how big is that light source compared to the object that's in front of it. If it's a teeny tiny sharp spotlight, then yes, it's going to cast some sharper shadows, especially at the base of something. But the further that object gets from its source, it's going to start getting blurrier. Radius does compensate for that, as long as the light's not too far away, because it's not good at calculating it from large distances, but in a way that makes sense, because a light that's far enough away isn't going to be much of a difference in size from as you go further away from it. But if you're like a foot from a spotlight, if you're 4 feet from that spotlight, or you go 4 feet from that person that's 1 foot from the spotlight, the size of the spotlight is going to be much different. Science. I think that actually would be perfect just like that. Oh, no, I'm going to move it so that gets us back a little bit more. Point is, I don't want to have him have this like big black spot in the back of his head. But then this lighting it, now it looks like a spot of light, which it kind of is. So to fix that, I'm just going to pull more around. I think I actually just liked it lower. So. See, that looks pretty good. I think that the light in his eyes is not bright enough, but I can always add another. Because this is kind of like a general over. So this is going to be right, large. Then we're going to make a large, not large, small. We are going to see if I think I still have it around there somewhere. There it is. I can't use the width sliders because they're ignored on highlights. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Not main, large. Oh, I have to be careful because I believe... What's the... Oh, I bet you it's the one that has the radius. Okay, what is the one causing... Oh, there it is. Because it's causing a lot of extra light right there. But if we put shadows on, it still hits it. Damn. Actually, how is it hitting it? Oh, I turned them off. There we go. Hitting the other parts as much. I needed to go reset it a little bit. Okay, it's a little bit too much. I think that might work. Hi, blah blah. I think it's kind of late. Really, an alarm clock. What time is it? I don't know why I love seeing your name. Blah blah. That's nowhere near how it's supposed to be said, but I think it sounds good. It's after 1 a.m. Oh, so you didn't just get up? You just forgot. Twilight. At what angle was she? He was looking up. So I probably actually should have him
An idea for a rocket navigation system, but I need your help.
Should I have him go from looking up to looking down? See here. This is a spine. Don't want to move it too much. Actually, it should be the other way around. I don't want to adjust the bones because it's just going to yell at me. Okay, I'm gonna amplify the eye up movement a little bit. So I think I just did up and down with that, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Oh. It says there's a change in position. Oh, it is. Oh, no, there's not. Make up your damn mind, eyes. There it goes. Okay, the eye's being weird. I have to make sure I want this as flat as possible. I don't want any emotion accidentally shining through on his wonderful face. Yes, that's just better. There is also maybe a little bit more of the angry in there. I think that's what I'm looking for. Wish I had some of the enhanced ones allowed me to grab the actual eye socket so I could reshape them a little bit. Actually, if you want, here, I have a Switch too. I will give my friend code here. At least for those that are right now. I forgot where it's at though. There it is. There you go. Oops, I probably should put some like punctuation in there. Here you go. I think that's me. 642552. Okay, there you go. Yeah, I've been playing Switch or the Smash here and there. I've been trying to oh, hold on. Switch decided to take over my TV again. I forgot it does that. I love that it does, but I also hate that it does. I've been playing Smash, trying to get all the spirits. I'm at, I think, I'm about 100 away from getting them all, but there's a total of, what, 1,300? I've got about 100 to go. Most of them are just fighter spirits or some other ones that just have to evolve or enhance and summon. So, yeah, $20 a year. I bought that right away. The PS1 or not PS1, the NES library is pretty fun. I've also been trying to get all the challenges in Switch or on Smash. I have 6 left, I think, out of 100 and something. Now I'll just add the animation afterwards. I was maining Inkling, but I kind of got to the point of like I wasn't actually doing that well with them. So then I swapped to Falco for a little bit, and I still like Falco, the Falco Fox and Wolf. I really actually like playing Wolf, but it's just he's not very good. But I just like his playstyle. I did Cloud for quite a while, but lately I've been doing a lot of Zero Suit Samus, so that's been my current. I like Cloud for his hard hitting, but I felt like wasn't quick for what I like to do or the style I like to play. Yeah, I love the Switch. The Switch is freaking awesome. Oops. Some of these buttons are being weird. Anyway. I wonder if I don't get it locked anymore. No. I love my avatar. Shut up. I feel so curious. Alright, go there. Oh, yeah, that's avatar. I don't know. I was perfect. Giant forehead and stupid face. I'm not going to put it on the base now because it's going to be stupid. I think I'm actually going to have Spike also lean a little bit forward in his motion. Actually, I'm gonna have the spine go back a little bit. Nope, actually the spine is his head, or his neck. He doesn't have a neck, I forgot. That'll work. Oh, okay, yeah. That's actually the reason I like the Switch, is so that I can, is for travel reasons, that I can, like, in October, I had to go from here to Pittsburgh to New York to Milwaukee and back, and it was a lot of time on planes and a lot of time traveling and hotels. And the Switch is awesome because I can play it on the go. I can drop it at a hotel and play it. It's something to do on the go, which is great. I think I might just smooth some of this out. I think some of it works, but I think just overdoing it. Yeah, that looks actually a lot better, just giving it one smooth. No, I don't have. I didn't get a screen protector for mine. I haven't had any problems with scratching or anything. I think that a lot of it has to do with if you're not being careful with it. Like when I go to put it in, I try to go straight down. You can also get Insignia has a different dock you can get that doesn't have a slide like down the middle of it. I think the reason that they have it like it is so that you don't have to worry about it falling over. I also got in on a Kickstarter for a device that would work for it as well. That's smaller, more portable, and but it also lets me use my phone as a desktop because it uses the Samsung Nex or whatever technology. So, but that was delayed to like later this month. I still have to see how that goes, because if that works, that's even better, because you literally just plug it in the bottom and then you got yourself a hookup. Yeah, the main game was actually really, really good. I played through and beat the main game, then went and did 100% of it to make sure I had everything, and then I played through again on hard, though you keep everything, so that it's not really that hard to begin with. But I didn't get through the whole thing again. I've just been doing like spirit board and stuff to try to build up, because I'm trying to get all the spirits and all the challenges. But other than a couple online challenges, the only challenge I have is to beat classic mode on intensity 9.9. I've gotten all the others. Okay, dude, I don't know if I want him to blink. Suddenly, like, to leave the oven on. Shit. The problem with this is his eyes go up to meet at the midpoint, which is there. I mean, I could artificially create a midpoint, but still. I don't think I've ever had that work that well. Yeah, even then, that's still all the way up. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have his eyelids kind of bounce. I thought about getting an Amiibo too. I actually saw Best Buy had Falco, and I almost bought that one. It was actually really cheap because it was for the previous Smash, but it does work for this one. And it was like $12 or something. So I almost just grabbed. I can't put Derpy in here because I'm trying to make a good video. Oh, is Tugget have an exclusive for that? No, I've actually done, out of any horse, I've probably done almost more with Derpy than anything else. She's fun to work with, but still. There are some. If you're looking for the children, I know of one. Did I put that in the group? I did. Maybe I did put that one in. Somebody donated me 3 months of DeviantArt, and that's awesome. Maybe I put these in. No, I didn't. It's here somewhere. One of these I've got to put in the group. This one. Ah, okay. Used to be easier when I had a button. Yeah, so Yona, I knew was a brand new one that popped up. I'm not sure how well it works, but she's there. Based on how the legs look, I'm thinking that making her walk or move is going to be a little difficult, but the face is pretty spot on. And then I know there was blue. Yep, the blue Gallus is in here too. Besides that, I don't think so. I think this is those two, and I'm not sure how he works too, but I'm thinking based on again how it looks, the back legs are probably going to be a little bit difficult to work with, but the rest of it looks like it should be fine. Oh, and those wings, based on that, those are probably don't have much flexibility either. Oh, I forgot there's a capper now. That's fine. Well, there's Smolder, I guess, too. I forgot Smolder. So 3 out of 6. I'm pretty sure that's it, though. Yeah. I move too fast, it just doesn't work. Breath of the Wild, I swear. Oh, it's not anymore. It was I thought just recently it was 41 at Target. Oh, that's with bonus Explorer's Guide. Do we have any of the? It's still 60. I swear it was just recently cheaper too. I've seen it for 41. It's just not very often. And another one to check. Is I thought they might have the digital for cheaper. Nope, they don't have that any cheaper anymore either. I keep up on it pretty good, and for a little while there, I believe the digital copy was 41, and Target was the physical. But there was a whole bunch. Mario Kart was 41. A lot of the games for Switch I pre-ordered on Amazon back when they had 20% off pre-orders. They don't do it anymore, but my Prime was going to run out, so I quickly went and pre-ordered like Smash, Mario Party, and Octopath, and I got 20% off all of them. They don't even charge you until the game actually comes out too, so it was pretty great. Just playing ahead. Yeah, I agree. The Switch was hard to adjust to when you come from the land of Gabe Newell. Especially since like my library on Steam is 465 games. I have well, I've been building that library for like over 10 years, but still. I feel like this should be much higher. The main issue I'm having with him is that he doesn't have a neck. His neck is connected to his shoulders, which makes this more difficult to do what I want.
Rockets.
If anything, I might just offset the head motion.
Help. Yes, but I need your help.
Okay, originally I was just gonna have him stare more, but I think I might cut this shorter now.
But I need your help. Rockets.
Well, yeah, it's much bigger then. I think I have... How many games do I have on Switch? I have... Just want to make sure that all these are mine. I have 5 games on physical copies on there. And then I have Starlink, which is a digital, and then I have like Into the Breach, Dead Cells. Actually, I own Dead Cells on both Switch and on PC. And I think I owned like 2 other small games, but they were just small, like couple dollar titles. And I downloaded YouTube. I feel like a lot of the motion I gave him wasn't strong enough, so I'm trying to go back here to add the extra emphasis. Yeah, okay. Well, I could probably call him mostly done. Actually, I don't even have to really play with the eyes. The light itself isn't centered then, but the thing is the light's coming from one large area right in front of him, so it actually makes sense that the reflection of the eye would maintain that like front fuzzy mesh. I should turn up the fuzzy light. There we go. Obviously that needs to be redone a little bit, but I can essentially call that one kind of done.
Science! Woo! Rocket science! Woo!
Unsure if I wanted to have him say something here. I feel like I need something because
Headshot surgery! No!
I kind of want to have her interrupt him. So I need to try to find some good audio for that first. These ones I can kind of call done. I want to probably do one last like check pass on them, but that was not done right. There we go. Is this my biggest fan? There's actually Light Leasley, Dex that we know. Jay Holler had made a pillow of his face, or sold on Etsy, I think it was, or someplace online, a bunch of stuff of his face. And Teo Nail in here had bought a bag with his face on it, and we ended up putting it on a fan, and so he had his face as a fan, and so we had said that he is his own biggest fan.
Squishy! Yeah!
Could actually work on this one. It's going to be a little bit of work. Can I cheat it? Yeah. I actually can cheat this. For one, I already cleaned this shot up, didn't I? No, I didn't. So I don't need the refrigerator. This one, of anything, I'm going to need to have pretty clean. So this back wall I don't need to worry about. Do I need to worry about that computer right there? No, I do not. That was servers. The ceiling, I don't think I actually can see this whole time. Nope. So I can get rid of the ceiling. The floor. I don't see this one. And also, I don't think I actually see any of the wires. Nope, so I can get rid of all the wires too. I think all the walls are visible though. I don't think actually I can see the top one here though. This is like one of these ones, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, oh, these are separate ones. I can delete these. Which one are you and you? Get rid of that science thing, because still don't remember what that was. I think all the rest has to stay. Oh, this one is... What is that one? Oh, yeah, that one's not visible either. Okay. And all the rest of the lights I think are needed, so I think I'm stuck with the rest. Yeah. But that should help speed it up a little bit. Not too much, but it puts us in the respectable frame rate. Anyways, for saving me time, and then suddenly Horse is like, fuck this place. I'm out. Yeah, he's doing his jumps from chemistry. Anyway, so what I'm actually looking for though is thought you had one before that. There it was. One of the back legs has a little bit of a glitch because I think I used a rig for that. I think that's just a copy paste. Yeah, that's just a copy paste of that. Yeah, I cheated my own stuff, so I can't use that again. I thought it was supposed to originally be a walk or a movement thing. Or not sure. It's just not what it's supposed to be. Apparently that was it. Oh, I didn't round it. I keep wanting to click brain, thinking that it's Brian. Okay, so I actually can't blend it like I wanted. What I have to do is say, where are all these who's? And then adjust the legs to match. I should do that wrong. Why did he jump to that position? Oh. Forgot. Because the rest of him wasn't adjusted to that. So actually this should be like this. No, because it won't actually round it unless I do that, will it? I have to let's if I want to flatten it. Try this. No, that actually won't work. Oh wait, there. Apparently I just can't go smooth enough. There we go. He will be a little different before he gets smashed. And it doesn't matter that like it looks a little weird through here or that he's going down with it, because this renders at frames. It renders at each of these frames. So it renders at those points. So it's only one frame of him being partially crushed, but that's fine. That's all I need. So what I want to do is I want to have him go and just beforehand actually, I kind of like the subtle look up. I'm gonna undo the ears though. Take all of him, and I'm going to make it so that he gets there a little quicker. Alright, see you later. Fun and switch. Okay, I'm going to add in the blinks first, and then I'm going to add in the eye motion. This is right now turning around his butt, but I don't actually like that. I want the camera spinning around a little further to his front, but I don't know if I can even do that anymore. It actually worked. Just to maintain consistency, I'm going to take the eyes and put it over here. Okay, I'm gonna fix these ones because though they're looking the right direction, it's in a fake way. Hi, Rook. It's I would call it design, but it's a scene build. I can show you what it looks like in a sec here. I don't want the eyes sitting at the absolute limit. There. The actual scene build looks like this for the most part. Oh, where'd my door go? There's my door. Yeah, it's a lab. A lot of these first shots are reduced to just what needs to be seen. So yeah, it's just loaded models. That's all it is. Lots and lots. Well, I guess that's again the bad example of loaded models. So, oh, if you ever have questions or something with SFM when learning it, the whole point of the stream here is to answer questions or to help people out if they're trying to learn or whatnot. So feel free to ask questions. Don't feel like you're interrupting or anything. What I'm doing now is just filler between times for people asking the questions. So yeah, no problem. Which one? Yeah, squishy time. I was wondering how the lights would turn out with the animation, because we made it look good from the angles, but it actually looks still pretty decent. Got to smooth him out though, because he's a little bit jerky. Nice thing is I don't have to worry about the feet on the ground. So his head goes up here, but I probably should don't need that anymore. As this is going, I actually want to have his body. Where did it come from? Ooh, that hoof breaks. Oh, and I'm gonna fix that. So as this is going, before he fully churns, I want to have him slowly being pulled backwards. So here is like where he's going with his motion right here. So I'm actually going to go and grab all of him except the face, the root, and the head for now. I'm just going to play ahead it a little bit. Blend that a little bit more. Okay, so it just makes it so you constantly like moving backwards a little bit. This goes too quick. So I can fix that by just moving a little bit here. He's also churning very stiffly. Like, if there's a line going through his body here, it's just kind of straight all the way across until this one little dip. So I probably want to actually have him dip here a little bit. We'll do it by pelvis. Okay, that's fine. I'm going to pull up on the chest one a little bit though, because I'm going to utilize chest 2 going down. So these would bend a little bit. Not too worried about how they look exactly, because you're not going to be seeing it anyway. Shoulder does break a little bit here. It's actually broken here. Oh, because it worked in that angle. But as soon as he steps here, oh, but the leg is locked there now. That makes this more tougher. Leg stops here. This is also when the leg starts adjusting. Go back to normal. So we'll do it from here. See if that'll fix it. That works. No, I'm not using a rig. The rigs that exist, I don't really like very much. Especially when I originally started, they were pretty bad. They've gotten better, but they still don't work the way that I want them to. So I find it, instead of fighting the rig, I just go like FK. It just takes extra planning. This animation is I took the animation from a different video I've done, copy pasted it into here, and now I'm just cleaning it up to make it a little bit different. So it's a lot of recycled animation. I think he's like stretching his neck a little bit there. What this should be is, I'm going to bring the chest 2 down a little bit and turn it a little bit out. His head should be turned a bit more. Yeah, that's better. When I originally made that, it was for certain angles, and I've learned stuff since, so might as well improve it. His eyes should probably close a little quicker. Kind of jerky here, isn't he? Yeah, a little bit. It's because it's something I added. Right here. I bet you I know why. I added the downward motion and there was already some. Okay, so I added a little extra bit in there so that I can dart his eye further this way. Okay, I think I'm okay with the blinks now, so I just gotta fix the eyes. Because right here, that doesn't really look very good. So, we're gonna say, for one, the eyes are gonna come from a downward position and rise up. A little bit more. Okay. And they're going to come a little bit from his right. I actually feel this one could probably extend a little bit. Or maybe not. Because his head's turning, the eyes are... Or no, his body's turning. I forgot I was going to invert the motion. Or cancel the motion of the head going that way by... or offsetting, that's what I was looking for a word. By having his head turn. Probably his neck, too. Variants inside SFM to customize colors or models or make them grow horns from their head. Yes and yes. Though probably not in the way you think, at least in a second. So like if you wanted to have a horn grow from the head, I can actually show you that right now. The horns on a model are static. They are attached. So you really can't do anything with them. But let's say that we have Rainbow Darsh, and Rainbow Darsh, if I can do this before it crashes, my libraries are too full. I'm not in a wall. So there are separate models I'd have to go digging for, but if you look on the DeviantArt group, SFM Ponies, or ponysfm.com, those, well, actually, I'm in those wondering how SFM Ponies on DeviantArt has a whole buttload of models, as well as if you go to ponysfm.com, it's about the same stuff. It's just built for it and has a more a nicer interface for finding stuff. But you can find just specific horn models. So it's Pony Parts horn, and these I think are bone merged, which means that even though it's only for the head, it has a bunch of other like there's a bunch of other models or other parts of the body that are not for the horn, but allow you to lock it to that model. So if you drag like Rainbow Dash's model to the horn and it'll like highlight over it, this will suddenly lock all equivalent bones to Rainbow Dash. And since a lot of the models, at least if you're talking like standard pony with the horn, they're very much the same, so they bone merge, so all the bones lock. Then you just hit the horn with a 0, which turns all the values to 0, but because it's locked, its 0 home value is the base model it's locked to. So if I hit it with 0, it's going to go and put it right where the horn normally would be on a model. If it's not a bone merge type, you'll have to like lock it to the head and then finagle it to get it how you want. This one comes with a couple skins. That's like a Trixie color, I think. Actually, I can show you how to do some of the texture bits, but do know that retexturing is a little bit more complicated and you're going to need extra software. So, and the stream's all recorded, so if I'm kind of going fast, just know you can watch this 1,000 times, because there's a link below the stream to my second YouTube channel, and that has all the recordings. I usually have it up within a day or two after. So just remember, this is about 2.5 hours into the stream. So first I'll go over how you can probably do like a resizing, and then I'll show you how to retexture. So because this is now a separate model from Rainbow Dash, you can resize it. So if you go to any bone, it doesn't matter what it is, but in this case, head is going to be the one closest to the horn. You could right click it and go to add scale control. This will allow you to rescale something. So you can go add scale, and now it pops up with the second little thing here with the slider. This will let you do the sizing, but it's going to resize it from the position of the head. There's no like bone position for it right at its base. So instead what we'll do is we'll just select the amount of time. So let's say it'll grow over the course of 2 seconds. And I'm going to scale the head, scale down to, let's do about 0. So now it's a teeny tiny horn. And now we're going to slide that up to about the position that the horn is going to be in. So if I hold shift, it lets me like see previews of stuff. So I'm just going to hold shift right here and I can see where it's supposed to be. Okay. So I'm just going to move it up here. We're going to try to get into position so that it's about at the base. It actually might be pretty good. That looks pretty good. Put Rainbow Dash back. And well, this case is reverse, but it'll be like shoot, there it goes away. If you want to see I'm just going to do something quick so you can see. There. 3, 2. But you could also just not even scale it. Just go to, let's go default, and have this go in reverse. So it'd be like, good too. So either way, but for retexturing, so let's say that you did want to make this a different color of some sort. Horns are a little interesting. So actually, I'm going to do this with Rainbow Dash's wings because they're a little easier to work with. So the two softwares you're going to need is something to edit textures in some way, GIMP or Photoshop or whatever you have. You're also going to need a program called VTF Edit, which you can, if you just look it up, it's under NEMS Tools. It's a pretty old program, but it's the best one out there for what you need. Yeah, it's less updated in 2006, but the source engine is also fairly old. Well, actually, I think that is. There might be a different one. 2007. Okay. So, no, there's a newer one than that. I swear there is. Anyway, it's VTF Edit. And that program will allow you to convert a texture into an editable format, which from the VTF, which is Valve Texture File. So what we need to do first is we need to find out where is her wing texture. And the easiest way I know how to do it, instead of having to dig around the files, is on a model, if you right click, there's this option down here called Add Override Materials. If you click that, and then you go right-click the model and say Show an Element Viewer Model, you'll get in the element viewer just a whole bunch of random crap. But the one thing it adds is this one called materials. So it's like saying, okay, I want to retexture her wing. So in this case, and this may not be the case with all models, a lot of other like Valve models or professional models have the textures all jammed into one to try to save memory. But because you're working in a video editor, it makes it easier if all the textures are broken out for modifications and stuff. So there's going to be a lot of textures for the ponies, but if you load in like a dragon from Skyrim, it's only going to have one texture, which makes it harder. So in this case, I'm going to go, okay, well, wings, that's what I'm looking for. And if you open this up, you're going to see here material name. This is the file extension for where it is. So you can literally just copy this and go, okay, well, that's where it is. But this is only part of the extension, whereas the rest of it, the way to get the rest of it is if you right-click the model again, go to Show Game Model in Explorer, it will open up the file that the model is at. So you can see it's user mod, which is the kind of the main mod folder that you put things in, and then models. But it's not a model. So I'm going to go back to my user mod, and there's a materials folder. This is where that link goes to. So I'm just going to tack it on the end here. But this is directly to the texture. I don't want to actually go right to the texture. I want to go to the folder it's in. So it says it's in Materials, Models, VNMLP, Rainbow Dash. I go there. Now I can see every texture. And there's... I already have a bunch that are in TGA because I've already modified the textures multiple times here. So, but we want to go to wings. So this little like red woman picture that's on this is because I have VTF Edit installed. And that's the icon that it gives for textures or files that VTF Edit sees as something that it can open. So I'm going to go down here and find my wings, so you can see that down here. And I'm going to open up the VTF, not the VMT. That's the material file that gives text information. I'm going to open the VTF. And if you have VTF Edit installed, it should open a VTF Edit. If not, you can just right-click it and tell it to open with VTF Edit. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff on here. You don't even care about any of this. You can see here that the only thing the texture is a little blue box because it's just spreading a blue texture over the whole wing. That's why this is pretty easy. If you're looking at like body textures, you might have a much bigger texture. So all I care about right now is just exporting this. So I'm going to go to File and Export. And I want to make sure I'm in the same folder that was in. So I'm going to copy the extension from this to here. So I'm in the same folder, and then I'm just going to save it as it is, Wings TGA. Now if I go to my folder here, I'll see a new file, Wings TGA. That is an editable format that we can open up some other program for. So I'm going to open up Photoshop, but you can do GIMP. Actually for Wings, you can do Paint. It's just a single texture or a single color. Then we got to wait for the wonderful program to open. It'll get there one day, I believe. There we go. So it's just going to open up the texture as you saw it. So it's just going to be a little blue box. Or a big gray box, apparently. I have to move this to my M.2. This program takes forever. You're open. Step 1 complete. Get in there. Okay. That 16 by 16 texture is just absolutely intense, apparently. So, oh yeah, I just opened it up as it was. So it says, well, it's just gonna say TGA. What do I want to open it with? Oh, open it in Photoshop. There we go. So you can see that this is all it is. Just literally a blue square. Like 32 by 32. So you want to make it a different color. Let's say that you're going for super ultra edgy and you want to make it red. So you go and just change it to red. That's all you have to do. for like the texture. So it's going to spread it across the whole wing. So in this case, you're done editing the texture. Now you have to resave it. I would recommend anytime you modify a texture like that, don't resave over the exported one, because that's kind of like, you could always just re-export it, but it's kind of like your original. So I recommend you save it as something else. So in this case, it's going to say, do you want to save it as wings? No. I want to save it as wings red. I'm just going to save it. In this case, keep it as all the settings it came with. So now I'm going to go back to my VTF edit here, and now we're going to do kind of the reverse process. So I'm going to go to File and Import instead of Export, and I'm going to find that texture. So I'm in the Rainbow Dash folder, wings red. So I'm going to import red. There's going to be a whole bunch of other settings here. Ignore all of them. Just hit OK, and you're going to have yourself a little red texture. There are some other options here that can be useful, but normally for a lot of textures, you're not going to need to touch them. The only two you might need to touch is if you feel that the texture is suddenly very blurry at a distance. It's probably because it's utilizing a level of detail based on distance. So just check these two boxes. No map, no level of detail. And then that should... It really, if you just want to check those all the time, it doesn't hurt. It just sometimes increases processing a little bit. So once those are checked, we're just going to go to Save As. And we're going to do the same thing here. So instead of saving over our original wings, we're going to go wings red. So now we have a new VTF, a new texture file that we can utilize. But Rainbow Dash isn't going to be changed at all here because she is still looking at the wings here. So what you can do is you can utilize an override to tell it, instead of looking at that texture, I want it to look at my texture. So to do that, we're just going to add a property on here. So VMTs, if we actually look in the file here, have a whole bunch of properties. But the main one you're going to actually care about here is the base texture. So it's going to say, where is it pulling my texture file from? And so this is saying, just like you saw with the when we copy pasted for the link, that's what this is right here. It's saying where the wings file is. No VTF at the end, just saying where it is. You can go in here and just say wings red. Save. You're done. That would work. The problem is that it will change it so for all models across all the board on everything. Maybe that's what you want it to do, but let's say that you have Rainbow Dash in one file and Rainbow Dash in another file, but you want them to look different. This would affect your other file. So we don't want to do that if we don't need to. So I'm going to keep this one untouched, but this is showing the property we're looking for, base texture. This is what I want to override. I want to override what its texture is. So I'm going to go here, right click wings, add attribute. And so you can see here, this is, what type of value is this? Well, it's a string in terms of computer programming language. This would be a string because it's a bunch of letters. So I'm going to go to add attribute and string. And then I want to name that attribute exactly what the other one was saying. So it's going to be number base texture. So I want to override that. As soon as you do this, it's going to try to redirect it to nothing. And then it gets confused and says, I don't see a texture. So it kind of gives this like purple and black checkered box because this is blank. So the easiest way to redirect it is I'm just going to copy this material name into this one. As soon as I do, it's going to say, oh, okay, I know what it is now. It's just, it's overriding to itself the same texture. But now I have it where I can just add the suffix I put to the end. So we're going to put underscore red. And if I click away, bam, you got your red wings. So now it's actually pulling in the texture. And this works the same way with really everything. So whether you're doing wings or anything else. But if I were to, I think I even have a horn. No, I don't have a horn in here. Let's say, because Rainbow Dash's tail is much more detailed. So this is the actual texture for the tail. So if you want to recolor the tail, you can kind of see its outline as to what you would need to do for it. But that isn't the case for everything. If I go and open up her body texture, you're not going to be able to see like where are her ears, where are her legs. You can see cutie marks, so you're probably sure that this is the butt somewhere around here. What is this big pink thing in the middle here, which is the inside of her mouth. So there's a lot of these ones are hard to manipulate at times. There is a way to see or there is like a mask you can get to see overlay and see where things match up. But even then, it's unless you're just recoloring, I usually don't play with the body textures too much because the textures cut right here at the breastbone, and because of that, if you're trying to make a texture that crosses it, it's really difficult. So, so yeah, that's in essence how you do it though. And I use overrides a lot. Like all these ones that are exported, like say for this one, I went and made a OC from a book for the Australia video I did. So that was for Ember. I modified her eyes in some bits. That was just an export. Here I needed just a gray tail, so I exported her tail, made it gray, and re-imported it. Oh yeah, so like here, this is a tail guard, so there's a VTF for that. If I go to her tail, add attribute string, base texture, tail, it doesn't, sometimes like shift, guard, bam. There are going to be some like, say for Applejack. Applejack's hair is a flat color that has no details to it. Usually to save space, somebody that does the textures for that will just make that small 16 or 32 by 32 texture of the hair. That means that there is no way for you to create a nice detailed mask for it at that point, because there is no masking or mapping. This is like mapping of a texture to the actual hair. It's like me right now. If I had a 32 by 32 texture and it's copied wing to wing, how could I add the details to it? There are ones out there that do have better mapping, but not everyone does. Yeah, if like Rainbow Dash's wings don't have the mapping to do that, it doesn't mean that everybody's is that way. There are ones that exist that do let you do that, but I wouldn't be able to say which is which. The best way to figure out if something has that ability is if you find a model or something that has details like that on the wings, it's because they've added the extra mapping to let them do that, or at least somebody has at some point. Because I know of at least like 3 or 4 different models that have the like the tipped wings colored, or different wings colored in some way. They're definitely out there. Oh yeah, so I was saying inside of the mouth, that's what this texture is. Pink. It's also horrifying from the inside. So sad. And if you ever want to just revert a model to normal with their overrides, if you just say remove overrides, bam, back to normal. If you go and make that red texture, like say you do the wings red, and you then are like, okay, wait, I messed up, that's not the right hue of red, and so you go and replace that file. As soon as a texture is loaded into the engine, it sits there in its cache. So if you go and update the file, it's not going to pull from the file anymore. So you're not going to see a change in it. You have to manually tell the program to reload textures. The 2 ways to do that are you can either go on the console and type in mat_reload all materials, or if you look around in the workshop for Source Filmmaker. There we go. I'll put him in here. And I think let's just reload materials. Yeah, so there's this one called SFM script useful shortcut to clear decals and reload all materials. Just by installing that, it will add an option under scripts here called reload all materials, and that will do the same thing as typing it in chat or bit. So if you ever go to replace a texture that you've already loaded once and it's not updating, do that and it should fix it. But if you do reload all materials, it will take a while for the engine to reload every texture that's in the map. You can instead go mat reload material and then say wings. It'll reload all the ones that are called wings, but it's sometimes a little bit iffy because you right now called it wings red, so which is it that you reload? So sometimes easier I just say reload all. Are there any other sites with ponies? Pony SFM and the SFM ponies on DeviantArt are the best places to go for pony specific. If you're looking for other models in any other way, the workshop is definitely a good place to go. The downside to the workshop is if you could be working with a model and if that person decided that they no longer wanted to have that model on Steam, they could pull it out of there and it would uninstall it from your computer and it could kind of screw you over. So I use Workshop for some stuff, but if it's something that I direly need to keep, I will move that model out of the workshop, copy paste it into another location so I can't lose it. But there is a lot on here. It says 33 pages, but that's just for reload materials. There is almost 10,000 things you can download in here. Whole bunch. Otherwise, there is also SFM Lab. The only thing is that this tends to have most of the same stuff that you're going to find on the workshop. There are going to be some unique ones outside of that, like Log Chapel. But you're also they have some NSFW stuff, so just make sure that you... Oh, yeah, to see that you have to sign up. So good, you don't have to worry about that. But yeah, so you can try this. It's just less... there's not being policed as much for what's on there. There used to be a website called SFM Box years and years ago that was the best out there for stuff, and then that kind of shut down. Yeah, WoW Chapel is actually that's useful. I mean, I'm not a WoW fan. Oh, that's getting weird. But having a chapel of some sort like that is useful. And if that's an actual, and it's under a model, so that means that you can modify a little bit. It's maps that are more difficult to modify. So, oh yeah. Oh, if you're looking for Warcraft models, check the workshop. There's a bunch of them. There's actually a whole bunch that I have downloaded too, of like a whole bunch of buildings from different towns and stuff. You can there's like whole lodges that are enormous inside. I wonder if I can even find one. That was under like lodge. Oh, that's gonna crash. I can't remember what it was called. Oh, it was probably under WoW. I've downloaded so many models over the years that, being that SFM's a 32-bit program, if I load too many libraries at once, like sound library plus model library, I will hit my index limit and it will crash, and I'm pretty sure I loaded a different library already, so yeah. This one, or tower, yeah. Some of these just are useful. Screen's not made for browsing inside of models, but still, get the gist of it. Alright, I get a Rainbow Dash. So I hope that helps you. like I said, if and if you want to have it reiterated, this stream will be probably uploaded tomorrow morning, and just check it about the 2.5 hour mark, or even right afterwards. I think Twitch has it, but that's not final resting place, because it eventually just deletes it from there. Okay, no problem. That's what I'm here for. His leg is fucked up there. Oif. Okay. Let's see if we can fix this. I might having it being broken a little bit, but it's kind of ridiculously broken. And I think he was under armor or something, and that's why it didn't really matter. Yeah, that's a bit better. Actually, it really just matters how the lighting looks. Yeah, the lighting looks fine then. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it like that. Kind of just shifts a little bit here. Yeah, like just a little jerk right here. Oh yeah, this has a lot of audio. I'm still doing some of the planning for it, but I have to think some of it over before I put time into it. Hold on a second here. Ooh. That's fine, man. Okay.
I got an idea for a rocket navigation system, but I need your help. Rocket science! Woo! Headshot surgery! Oh! Squishy! Yeah! Now grab the brain! You got a brain! Woo!
Yeah, I think that's all I got done for now. Yeah. So, it's getting there. Now I realized that his hooves were locked while he's here. There we go. The voices were taken from Borderlands pre-sequel, Dr. Spara, and the rest of it, all the ones here, are all, so all these were from Borderlands 2. The music, that's from TF2, this is from Zelda. This is some ambient Half-Life music, or background audio, and then all the rest of these are just random ones. You could just go, like, say, add a clip to a track and then search randomly. Half-Life 2 and stuff has a lot of stuff. Otherwise, just keep adding more and more to your library until you just kind of find more. There's stuff on the workshop, too, like sound packs. But I hate doing sound design. It's like the one thing I don't like doing the most. So, and I color code my shots down here for trying to figure out, like, when you're doing larger videos, you want to kind of keep track of what you're doing for your progress, and it kind of gives a visual indication so you can look at it and go, okay, yeah, I'm here and I have this to do. So blue usually means I have not done anything for it. It's still in its very, very preliminary phase. I just know that's probably going to go to about there. Red being that I've created the camera and some of the basic keyframing, so that's why here he's just kind of jumps and she jumps, and lip sync is just this. Orange means that I've animated it, I just haven't refined and cleaned it up, so that's why he's animated, but he's not cleaned up. So, like, his tail is static and not moving, his hair is only using the automated jiggles without being refined and cleaned up, his eyebrows aren't moving, that kind of stuff. So it's the secondary of the secondary that I need to clean up. Little Pip, it. Thanks, Muffin. Little Pip was, no hacking, but I didn't have Little Pip, like, I didn't commission her or anything. That was done by EBC, who had been in contact with her to get her to do that part. So I just took the audio from EBC.
Rocket science! Woo! Woo!
I agree. This one, hold on. If you ever had a clip that you do want to recolor, if you go to edit clip and set clip color, that's where you can kind of do that. Otherwise, if you want to rename it, you go to edit clip name. That's where you change the yellow part, or the one at the very top. And if you want to change the stuff in the body here, that's clip text. The only really reason you'll ever want to say clip text is, like, say you're working on stuff and you realize that you have to go fix something in the shop. It's going to take a while, so you don't want to do it right now. You could say like fix the main. It will show on the bottom here at the very first frame. As soon as you go away from that, it won't show up, and it won't be in your render either. They're just for notes of sorts, at least that I know of. If you're able to control and roll your mouse wheel, you can make them bigger. And then if you want to put lots of notes there, I used to put notes there a lot more. So like if you're modifying the fog in a map, it used to be that there was no way to save that when you close the program and reopened it, so I needed to remember what values I had. So I would put like fog UI and then I'd put the color values. But now there's a script you can get called realistic fog, and that will save that for you. So don't have to do that anymore. So I haven't utilized clip text for quite a while. I use clip names because you should always name your clips. You should always name everything if you can, just to save confusion and make things easier to follow. Look at it. Oh, you just had that face. You would like some loops. Anyway, but it is after 9, so I am going to call it here. I will be back streaming next week, next Tuesday. Poke at that some more. Close. Yeah, no problem. Thanks for the questions, Rook. I'm glad I could be of help. So, oh yeah, and I've kept Kitty. There you go. Yes, meow meow. So, okay. Well, have a good weekend. See you guys on Tuesday or whenever. Bye bye. Meow. Meow. There we go.